welcome to the Capitol. And I'm certainly glad to see you all here. I was looking forward to this for a while when we first started talking about it. Certainly looking forward to having you come down and share in the beauty that I get to work in every day. And certainly is a beautiful building. Trust me, we'd never be able to build it the way it's built today. It's just a gorgeous building and something I like to share with the people in my district because you are the folks who help pay for it. So you should come down and see it and see how we do things in Harrisburg and see what goes on and where we're at. So I hope you enjoyed what you've seen so far. Right now we're in the Ryan office building, and this was named after Speaker Matthew Ryan. He was a very highly regarded speaker, and the building was redone not that many years ago. And right now what you're seeing is offices on each side, and these are mainly chairman's offices of various committees in the state government. And upstairs will be a big hearing room and some more offices, and right through there is the House library. And it's a beautiful room. If anybody wanted to get up there, it's a couple steps there, but it's a beautiful room to go up and look at. There's a beautiful statue of Abraham Lincoln and a beautiful painting up there also. You're going to see beautiful artwork throughout the building today and some beautiful architecture. So enjoy it. I think our plan is going to be very shortly, we're going to be going over to show you the Speaker's office, which is a little bit nicer than mine. I'm not sure how that happened. We're going to show you the Majority Caucus room. And I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the caucuses, but I'll explain that to you when we're in and how caucus works. And then we're going to sort of talk about government a little bit while we're in the caucus room. We can't get onto the House floor until a little after 1, and then we'll go onto the House floor and after that. And right now the YMCA, as you'll see a lot of the young people walking around the halls. The YMCA is in here today doing a mock government day. So many of them are House of Representatives, so many of them are senators or somebody, the governor, and they mock the government and they go around and play that role and argue about the bills and vote on the bills just like we do here on a regular basis. So that's why you see so many young people in the hallways today. But again, thank you so much for coming down. I hope you enjoy your day. I'm going to be with you throughout the day. Unfortunately, I have to, depending on how you look at it, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you a little bit earlier than I would have liked, but the governor's coming up to see me, and I'm excited to have him in our district and tell him what we need in our district, and couldn't pass up the opportunity. So I'll be leaving you, but I'll be with you while we're on the House floor, and I'll be with you for the next couple hours anyway, and leave you a little bit after 2. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. So Peggy, tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Strong, Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania.
Strong, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
Right outside Mount Carmel, and you're from which of the senior centers?
Mount Carmel Senior Action Center.
Mount Carmel Senior Action. How do you enjoy your trip so far?
I love it. I was never here before, and it's beautiful.
And what part of the building are you looking forward most to seeing?
Well, the main Capitol, the main one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but everything's beautiful.
Good. It's a beautiful building, and I'm certainly proud that the people of my district have sent me down there to serve them here in the Capitol.
We're thrilled to have you.
Well, thank you so much for saying that, and thanks for so much for coming down in the Capitol.
Okay.
This is Nancy Litwin, and where are you from, Nancy?
I'm from Marion Heights, Pennsylvania.
Marion Heights, and what center are you affiliated with?
Mount Carmel.
The Mount Carmel Senior Action Center. How was your trip down?
Trip was great.
Good.
Trip was great.
Good.
We always have a good time in the bus.
A great trip, and how are you enjoying your tour so far?
So far, great. I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
And what are you looking forward to the most?
Seeing the architecture. I studied architecture in school.
It's beautiful architecture, and we're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. In both the House and the Senate, we have majority and minorities. We're currently right now in the House. This is the House majority room. Republicans are in the majority right now. You'll see on the House floor, Republicans are on one side, Democrats are on the other side. Many of you know I'm a Republican. However, I sit on the Democratic side.
Why can't they change it around? Why can't they do Republican, Democrat, Republican?
I wish they would, because I want to tell you, we'd get a whole lot more cooperation.
I'll tell you why, because at my center I move everybody every day. Nobody sits in the same seat twice, because then you're with different people every day. Why don't the government do
So
that?
that's a great idea, because you would get more cooperation. We had too many Republicans to all fit on one side, so some of them had to go on the Democratic side. I volunteered. I said I'm okay with it. In fact, I like it because when you're on that side, you're sort of isolated. I get to interact with all of these folks around me, and if I got a bill running, guess what? I got more people on that side than I normally would have had. I'd sit on the other side. So I enjoy it, and I think it's right. I mean, I like the interaction. You see, if we had it more in here and more in Washington, a whole lot better things would come out of here. Right. But the majority caucus room is used by whatever majority party is at the time. And what this room is, we spend a lot of time in this room. The leadership will sit up here. We all sit back here, and we have staff in here also. And what we'll do is go over what's going to be voted on either that day or the next day. We talk about every bill or every law that's coming before us in the next couple days. And in here, we have the arguments about what we think of it, what's right with it, what's wrong with it, who's supporting it, who's against it, and why are they against it, and why are they for it. And we have those discussions in here to sort of iron out those differences and figure out is the bill good enough? Can we make it better? What do we have in front of us? So we spend a lot of time on all the bills in this room. It's an interesting dynamic when you sit in here, because this is where you see the things go on that you won't see on TV. I mean, we came down here, the freshman class came down here wanting to clean up the way things are done down here in Harrisburg. We thought the members shouldn't have freebie cars like from the government. Everybody else has got to drive their own car. This is where the room where them arguments took place. We thought we should pay towards our health care like everybody else does in the real world. This is the room where those arguments took place. We thought the per diem system was broken, and we were spending too much money. This is the room where the arguments took place. Because if you want to get something done, you can't do that on camera, because you just won't get anything done. It has to happen in here. And we won those arguments. There's no more cards for members. There's no more, you have to pay for your health, pay a portion of your health care just like you do in the real world. And the per diem system got revamped. Absolutely. And it's long overdue. It's long overdue. But that's what you see in this room. Not only, we talk about our own rules, but we also talk about the bills that were coming before us. And also, there's the neat dynamic is usually staff. I mean, these seats are for members only. Then the staff will sit on each of the ends. Members will sit over there too, and the members are at each of the tables. And then leadership is up here. You know when the Speaker of the House says, "All right, staff, out of the room," that's when things are about to get interesting. And it might not be so pleasant. But there's a lot of back and forth in here. And for good reason. You get to learn a whole lot more about the laws that you're about to vote on in this room. So with that, I'll take any questions you might have about how caucus works. The minority caucus has a caucus room, same thing, well, except not near as big, on the 4th floor. I've never been there. My first term, I'm in the majority. So I like being in the majority because you get to drive the bus. Anybody have questions? Yes?
Drive the bus?
No, I'm just saying drive this bus.
Who sits up here then?
Right here is the Speaker of the House. We're just in his office. He's from Punxsutawney. That's Sam Smith. Caucus Secretary is Mike Verb. He's from down outside of Philadelphia. The caucus leader is Mike Turzai. He's from the Pittsburgh area, outside of Pittsburgh. Majority Whip is Stan Saylor. He's from York County. We have these leadership that gets, like Speaker of the House, Majority Whip, Majority Leader. They're voted on by your peers. So when we get in here, we vote on these folks. And that's who decides who's going to be Speaker of the House and who's going to be everything. The whip. Is anybody familiar with what the whip is? You have a majority and a minority whip. And the whip comes from a British term for when they were foxhounds, and it was to keep the dogs in line, to make sure that everything, So that's basically what his job is, to keep us in line and get the votes the right way, to make sure we have enough votes to pass the legislation. His job is to count the votes to make sure we have the votes necessary to pass the legislation that we want to pass. Majority leader will run the whole floor, the Republican side of the floor, and decide what bills are going to run and what bills are not going to run. The Speaker of the House runs the entire floor, and he controls who's speaking, who's not speaking, and he calls the shots as the floor moves on. He's the highest ranking in our party here in Harrisburg. Then it's majority leader. Benjamin Franklin off to the left. William Penn is in the middle with the red. Yeah. Benjamin Franklin is off to his left. Up in the top there, you'll see with the Daniel Boone with the musket. Those are the three most prominent people on the painting. As I said in the caucus room, the Speaker controls the whole floor. He controls the flow of things. If I wanted to ask a question, I would get up in my seat, let the mace bearer know that I'm ready to ask a question. He'll tell me I'm 20th in line, or I'm 4th in line, or however many speakers there are. And then I wait, and he'll get my attention, a few speakers, and then I get ready to go up and speak. And you'll see microphones throughout the room. Each of the aisles has microphones throughout. When you watch it on PCN, that's where these gentlemen are oftentimes standing. They just bring the microphone up and you speak from here. If you have paperwork, you bring these little desks up.